Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. All right, so I want to go into the scripture, 2 Corinthians 13:5. All right, it speaks about examining yourself, whether you be in the faith. So you always have to check yourself in this truth. All right, you in your walk of life. All right, and depending on what you watch, things you hear and listen to. All right, you always have to check yourself and examine things through the Spirit. When you watch television or movies, when you know that Spirit is on you, when you see things through the Spirit, if you watch a movie about a survival movie, an apocalyptic survival movie, you automatically filter that through the scriptures. You start having scriptures pop in your head and certain situations, and you use your imagination, things of that nature. That's how you know the Spirit is working, because you're like filtering everything you do through the scriptures. Like a song may come on and you be like, man, that shit sound wicked as hell. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, or you be like, man, that was very spiritual. Like, you listen to a song and you like, man, that's spiritual. Like, it's just the way your mind works. And when you're examining yourself, it's whether you're counting the cost of exactly what you're in. When you're counting the cost, meaning you're realizing the impact of the thing that you're a part of, and you're realizing how impactful it is on your life and the goal you're trying to reach in your life through this faith, within this faith that the Lord has gifted us with. So when you're examining yourself, it's really you trying to keep yourself in the Spirit so you can continue to do the work of the Lord. So when you're constantly examining yourself, it's like you're checking yourself. Or do you still have the same type of zeal to go to camp, teach on the streets, in all facets of the weather, the conditions, things of that nature. We're doing videos to edify the body and to really keep you in the Spirit. Like this video right now I'm doing right now, I was searching for scriptures. That's me constantly keeping my mind on things in the Spirit, figuring out what I want to do for a lesson, having spiritual conversations with brothers. You know what I mean? Whether it be like something like a joke, it could be a joke, and a joke could turn into something very spiritual. Like even the brother Yawana in our camp at GMS Chicago, he says everything's spiritual. And he's been saying that for years. As long as I've known the brother, he always says, man, everything's spiritual. And he's one of those type of guys that has that type of spirit where, he'll turn something he'll turn some of the funniest things into something very spiritual, man. I've seen him do it so many times. It's like everything's spiritual. And it's based off of what you see and what you hear. So really, when you examine yourself, you're really checking yourself. And you're constantly checking yourself to make sure that you have the strength to continue in this faith. You always want to build yourself up to be stronger all the time. And that's building that knowledge. Iron sharpeneth iron. Keeping yourself sharp, keeping yourself ready to swing that sword, that two-edged sword. All right? 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. So we're going to look up the word examine. Examine in the Greek, pyradzo. It says to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endeavor, to try, to make trial of, test, for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or quantity, all right, or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. So you have to examine yourself to try whether a thing can be done. You have to try, man. You have to test yourself. All right. You know, you have to, like they say, test the waters, or like you're cooking something and you want to see if you need a little bit more seasoning. You take a little taste. You be like, I need a little bit more pepper. You know what I mean? Like you want to test that. You know what I mean? To see if it's just right. You want to constantly do that. You know what I mean? It's like it says right here, the second, number 2, says to try, to make trial, a test. You know, you always have to test yourself, whether you be in the faith. You know, you got to test yourself, man. All right, all the time. Check yourself. All right, making sure you're on point. All right, to continue in this word. All right, you want to do that all the time, man. Examine yourself. Now we're gonna look up the word endeavor. All right, look up this word endeavor. It says try hard to do or achieve something. All right, an attempt to achieve a goal. So that's the endeavor. All right, so you want to achieve something, to try hard. All right. You know, this escapes my mind, the scripture. But endure hardness as a good soldier. All right, endure hardness as a good soldier. All right. Yeah, that's what it is. Give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. That's how you try hard, when you give diligence. All right, because you don't want to be a reprobate. And we're gonna look that word up right here. Let me look up reprobate. All right, in the Greek, adoke imos, not to stand the test, not approved. But it just said to examine thyself was to test. So when you examine yourself, you're testing yourself. But when you're not, you're a reprobate, which says not standing the test, not approved. You don't want to be that. So you don't want to be a reprobate in this thing. You don't want to be a reprobate. All right. I'm going to read verse 6. But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. You do not want to be that. And the reason why you end up being a reprobate is because you don't examine yourself. So you must examine who you are in this faith so that you will not be a reprobate. All right. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shalom.